This is Everyday Math, Homelink 6.1, Line Segments, Rays, and Lines. Help your child match each name below with the correct drawing of a line, ray, or line segment. Then observe as your child uses a straight edge or a ruler to draw and label figures. So, just very quickly have a review here. Something with 2 points on it and no arrows is going to be a line segment. A line segment. It means a piece of a line. And a line segment, in this case, has an A by this point and a B by this point. So it can be named a line segment AB or line segment BA. Same thing. And it has to have this line over the top of it with no arrows drawn on it in order to indicate that it's a line segment. For rays, a ray has an arrow on one end of it. So either on the right end or the left end. And in this case, there are 2 points on the ray, and it says each of these rays can be named YZ. YZ, so it's pointing, the arrow is pointing this way. In this case, the arrow is pointing this way. Either way, take the first letter, and then the second letter closest to the arrow, which in this case both times are Z, and then the arrow points in the same direction that the second letter closest to the arrow is pointing. So each of these rays can be named YZ. Now this line, and a line, we see that it's a line because it has arrows on both ends, which means it keeps extending and extending. This line can be named AB, BA, AC, CA, BC, or CB. It means the exact same thing as long as these letters have a line above it with arrows on both ends. That indicates a line. And any of these would be correct to name this line. Now, for number 1, match each drawing below with one of the names. So you have to take a look over here, and you have to try to figure out which one it matches to. So in this case, B matches to Ray RS, because it starts with the R and goes to the S, and the arrow is on the end, and it goes straight across. So let's take a look at the next one, RS. Before I even look for the answer, I'm just going to kind of jot down over here what I see. I see an R and an S, and I know that it's a line on the top. So I'm going to see if I see anything down here that looks like that. Yes, I do. So it's going to be E. Alright, and then the next thing I'm going to do, let's see. This is a ray. I can see that this is a ray. And the arrow is pointing to the left, and the R is closest to the arrow. So I know that that's going to be my second letter over. And the other letter here is S. And I know that this is going to point in the direction. The arrow is going to be closest to the R because the arrow is closest to the R here. So this is ray SR. And let's see if I can find a ray. Yes, there is a ray SR here. That's letter D. The next one, this looks like a line segment. A line segment ST. And for line segments, just to review, it's just a straight line on the top. So it should be ST with a straight line. I'm going to look. Let's see, there's no ST with a straight line. But I know that another way I can say this is also TS. Those are going to be the exact same thing. So let's see if there's a TS with a straight line. Yes, there is right here. Letter A. Now for the last one, this is a line. And I remember up here there's lots of different ways I could say this line. So I'm going to see which one I have remaining here, which is C. And it's the only line, the only answer left, the only line left. Line TS. Let me check and see if I could do that. TS. Yes. Yes, that would work, because that tells me this is going to continue. So that's going to be C. There are many other names we could give this line. We could give it RS with a line, SR with a line. Okay. Now, we've already used these other answers, but for example, this is an RS and this is an SR, but this would not be the correct answer because these are not lines, they're rays. So we've got to very carefully check to make sure that what we're doing here matches what we're choosing or creating here. Now, for number 2, it says, follow the directions carefully. Use the straight edge. And I'm going to use a ruler here. It wants me to mark points B and C. So I need to draw a line segment BC. So I'm simply going to draw a line, and then I'm going to pick 2 points on that line. I'm going to label one of them B. I'm going to label one of them C. And for a line segment, remember, I've got to have a clear ending. And actually, I'm just going to use my points as my clear ending there. And that is, right here, line segment BC. The area of the line in between B and C is the segment. If this line were to continue out, it would continue out, 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 and we could actually draw the arrows on the end of it, because this is actually a line. A segment means a piece of, but we are not going to do that right now. But just so you can kind of see how it goes together. Now I need to draw a ray, TO. I know I need a straight line, okay, and I know I need an arrow on it because it's a ray, and I know I need to pick 2 points. I'm going to pick this point, and I'll pick this point. Yeah. I'll erase the rest of my line here so that it starts right there. Okay, so a ray has a starting point and then keeps going, so it's going to start with the T, and the O is the closest one to the arrow here, so the O is going to be the closest to the arrow here. So you got to make sure you've got that clear starting point, the ray, and then the ending point is they're just continuing. And so I pick an O, a point to represent O. And then for part 4 is practicing some addition problems. So this is Home Link 6.1 of Everyday Math. Line segments, rays, and lines.